Hey guys, this is Stephania, and you're listening to Life After Grief. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for our 6th episode. I am very excited about that. It has been great so far, chatting with you guys every Friday. I hope you're having a good Friday morning or mid-afternoon. Oh, let's see. So the title of this episode is An Ode to Me. Not to be really deep, but probably we'll get a little deep in here. I titled it An Ode to Me because June has been a very, probably not going to use words here, self-discovery kind of month. I have learned a lot about myself. I have had to face the ugly truth about some things, but I've overcome them. So I hope that June was good for you. If you are on the same journey as you are, trying to find yourself or discover new things about yourself, or you're either at the same stage or you're just starting, just know that it's going to be a very interesting ride. I will say that. So the last episode, or the one before last, because the last one was a correction, I talked about confidence while grieving. So that kind of ties into this one too. My coworker today asked me a question that kind of sparked the title for this. He asked me, would you like either a cushiony lie or a harsh truth? And before I really answered him, I said, before I experienced grief on this level, I probably would have said, to be perfectly honest, I would have said a cushiony truth. Not that I want to be lied to. I do want the truth, but I didn't want it to be harsh because I am a sensitive person. But I told him, I said, you know what? After having experienced grief, and I said, a lot of times when I say that, even to family, I get you're still grieving that? Like, you were pregnant really early. Like, you lost it really early. Like, why are you so upset by that? And then how do you know it's a girl? And, I feel like you're just trying to get attention and all that kind of stuff. So I explained to him, I said, I'm a very emotional person and a caring person. I have a huge heart. It's not just me saying that, but other people have told me that as well. Because it shows through my actions, not just my words. I mean, I built a company around helping people because it feels so good helping people. And I love people's faces when they light up because you help them. Because I know what it feels like to be down in the trenches, to hit rock bottom, to want to take yourself out of here. Like all of those feelings, to have anxiety so bad that you can't breathe, to have a panic attack so bad that your heart is racing and you have to leave work. I know what it feels like to not want to be around people or want to be around people but you still feel alone. I know what that feels like. And so if I can do it to the best of my ability to help somebody not feel that, I'm going to do that. So saying all that to say, the short time that I was pregnant, and I will repeat myself so many times, so please bear with me throughout this entire podcast for years to come. Seeing my baby on that screen after being told in college that it would be hard for me to get pregnant because I had some issues there. Come to find out that was not the case. But anyway, either it wasn't the case or it cleared up on its own. Either way, I'm perfectly fine now, perfectly fertile, good to go whenever I get married. But to see, so from going from being told that it would be hard for me to get pregnant by a doctor who could really care less about me. My college friends who were actually in the hospital with me can attest to that. Short story and short little interlude there. Sorry guys, this is going to be a time of the month, quick little mini story. There was one point in time where I had terrible cramps to where I would throw up. I would have cold sweats. The pain was excruciating. There was one time in college, I was at a Bible study and I felt the cramps coming on. I thought I could catch it in time, so I took medicine. Well, the cramps got so bad, I ended up throwing up the medicine, throwing up blood clots. It was really bad. I was sweating, but I was freezing. They tried to pray over me. I was just like, take me to the hospital because something doesn't feel right. I had never had cramps that bad in my life. So take me to the hospital. This is in San Marcos, Texas. So it's the hospital on Wonder World. Took me there and sat in the ER waiting room, got signed in and everything. They kind of threw the pen and pad at me because they thought I was just, some drugged up college student or whatever. And anyway, so I had my friends surrounding me, trying to take care of me, and I'm screaming in pain, right? And to the point where there were kids running around and they stopped and stared at me. Mind you, I found out all of this later because I'm in pain. So they finally take me back there and the doctor comes in and he tells my friends, like he says kind of to me, but my friends heard it. I didn't because I'm screaming. Why are you being so dramatic? I'm glad I was in pain. I didn't hear that because I would have lit him on fire. I was I was in pain. I'm screaming and you're asking me, why am I being so dramatic? So this is the guy who's telling me that it's going to be hard for me to get pregnant. So I should have taken it with a grain of salt. I really should have sought further advice. But, certain issues like that do run in my family. But I do know that I am good to go. I am very healthy, very fertile, so I'm good. Anyway, so back to the main story. So being told that and then finally or not finally, but the fact that I did get pregnant, it shocked me, and I do want kids. So it is something that I did want. Was it the right time? No, but it was something that I did want. And so the fact that it was snatched away so quickly and having to go through that grief, it changed me. So, and then I connected with my baby from the first time I saw her heartbeat. And again, I say her because I felt it was a girl from the moment. I felt that it was a girl from the first time after the 4 tests that I took just to confirm. I just felt it. I felt it in my bones. And to make her more real, I decided to give her a gender. So to see her 1 minute, to see her heartbeat flicker, And then the next time, just to know that she's gone, it really hit home. And I took Plan B the morning after I had sex with that guy. So in essence, it was my fault. Plan B did its job, except I was pregnant. So it did its job just after I got pregnant. So I do not blame Plan B at all. But so I was wrestling with all that. So anyway, back to the question that he asked. Would I like a cushiony lie or the harsh truth? So after experiencing that grief and coming out of my dark place, I told him, I said, you know what? I would take the harsh truth, because it took me so long to get to the point where I was able to look at myself for real and say, hey, what the hell are you doing? Who are you, for one? You are almost 30. You're 28 years old. What are you doing? Where are you going? So, and I'm still answering that question. My life isn't over, so I haven't finished answering that question. But I have already learned that I would much rather have the harsh truth, because those lies that we tell ourselves, and I'm not the only one that has told myself a lie. I'm not the only one who, there are people out there who are continuously telling themselves lies. I know in some areas I am, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure, hopefully, I have cut all of that out, because I realize it just prolongs healing. It prolongs understanding, all of that. So, this past month, June, has been a real roller coaster, because having to really look at myself and look at how I treated people, for one, and why I treated them that way. Like, I have lost friendships. There's one friend that I've had for over 10 years that I let go during my time where I was grieving. Do I regret that decision? No, not at all. Because it wasn't a good friendship. It wasn't good for either one of us. Neither one of us, I feel, are bad people. Even though I ended the friendship with her, I still will never say that she's a bad person. It's just we are not good friends together. So sitting myself down, and it's been multiple times, and really taking a look at the things I've done, the things I've said, the people who have been in and out of my life, it's been tough. It has been really tough. And then during this time, my relationship with God has strengthened. My attendance in church has decreased, but my faith and trust in God has increased. I feel like that's funny, because most people would say, if you're not in church and you don't really know God, no, that's not true. I come from a family of pastors and evangelists and prayer warriors and prophets, all this kind of stuff. So I have been in church my entire life. I know who God is, for the most part. I know who He is to me. And dealing with grief, walking this path of grief with Him, has shown me even more who He is. And walking with God and learning who He is has taught me who I am. And whether or not you believe in God, at some point you sit down and look at yourself.